Hello, my dear students. Welcome, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Today is going to be a big day. We are going to tackle one of the most important chapters in class 10 biology, that is life processes. Now, I want you to pause and ask yourself something. Right now, as you're watching this video, your heart is beating, your lungs are filling with air, your stomach is digesting the food you ate, and your blood is rushing through thousands of kilometers of blood vessels inside you. All of this is happening automatically, silently, without even you thinking about it. Isn't that absolutely amazing? These are called life processes, and today we're going to understand every single one of them, step by step, in a way that you will never forget. Now this chapter is a goldmine for board exams. CBSE has asked questions from this chapter in 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020, and even before that. I would be shocked if your board exams does not have questions from this chapter. So stay with me because by the end of today, you will walk out feeling confident and ready. Now we begin by asking ourselves, what are life processes? Think about this. How do we decide if something is alive? A stone doesn't eat, a stone doesn't breathe, a stone doesn't grow, but a mango tree does, a dog does, and you do too. The activities that living organisms perform to maintain and sustain their life are called life processes. There are four main life processes. Number one is nutrition, that is basically getting food and using it. Number two is respiration, that is the breaking down of food to get energy. Number three, we have transportation, moving substances from one part of the body to another. And lastly, we have excretion, and this is removing waste products from the body. A beautiful trick to remember this is never relax till exams. N is nutrition, R is respiration, T is transportation, and E is excretion. Let me now take you through each one by one, and we start with nutrition. What is nutrition? It is the process of obtaining and utilizing food. Now, not all living things get their food the same way. There are two broad types. Number one, we have autotrophic nutrition. The word auto means self, and trophos means feeding. So autotrophic means self-feeding. So I can define autotrophic nutrition as when an organism makes its own food from simple inorganic substances like carbon dioxide and water, then it is called autotrophic nutrition. Examples, we have green plants, we have algae, and autotrophic bacteria. Now think of a green plant. Does it go to shop to buy food? No. Type 2 is what we call heterotrophic nutrition. Hetero means other, so heterotrophic means feeding on others. So we can define heterotrophic nutrition as when an organism cannot make its own food and depends on other organisms for nutrition, it is called heterotrophic nutrition. Examples, we have humans, animals, fungi, and cascata, and this is basically a parasitic plant. Now, heterotrophic nutrition has three subtypes. Memorize this carefully. CBSE loves asking about them. So we shall have the type, who does it, and how. The first type is holozoic. This is done by humans, dogs, amoeba, and paramecium. Now, how does this happen? Here, organisms eat and internally digest organic food. Number two, you have saprophytic. And this basically happens with fungi, and the fungi include mushroom, bread mold, and yeast. Here, they feed on dead and decaying matter. Lastly, we have parasitic, and this includes lice, leech, tapeworm, and cascata. These ones live on or in a host, and they cause harm. Now here is a memory trick for the subtypes for heterotrophic nutrition. Just say, hungry students pass. H is holozoic, S is saprophytic, and P is parasitic. Now let us try answering this question. Which type of nutrition does mushroom show? What is the answer? The answer is saprophytic because it feeds on dead and decaying matter. Another quick knowledge check, we have which type of nutrition does cascata or amarbel show? The answer is parasitic because it lives on other plants and has no chlorophyll. Easy, right? Here are some of the common mistakes students normally make. Many students think amoeba is saprophytic because it sounds like a simple organism. Wrong. Amoeba shows holozoic nutrition. It eats food particles and digests them internally. Now let us go deep into how plants make their food. This process is called photosynthesis. We can define photosynthesis as the process by which green plants make their own food, that is glucose, from carbon dioxide and water using sunlight energy in the presence of chlorophyll. Let me give you a beautiful analogy. Think of the sun as a charger, the plant is like your mobile phone. Chlorophyll is like the charging cable. The sun's energy flows through chlorophyll and charges it up with food, which is glucose. Now let us go ahead and look at the conditions necessary for photosynthesis to take place. Number 1, we have sunlight, that is the energy source. Number 2, we have the chlorophyll, this is the green pigment that absorbs light. Number 3, we have carbon dioxide, that is CO2, and this enters through the stomata. Number 4, we have water, which is H2O, and this is absorbed from the soil by the roots. Now, having known those conditions, let us look at the balanced chemical equation, and you must memorize this for board exams. The equation is 6CO2 plus 12H2O in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll to get C6H12O6 plus 6H2O plus 6O2. In simple words, this is carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll to get glucose plus water plus oxygen. Now here is a board of exam favorite question. What is the source of oxygen released during photosynthesis? The answer is the oxygen released during photosynthesis comes from the splitting of water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen, not from carbon dioxide. Now let us go ahead and look at the 3 steps of photosynthesis, and this is very important. Step 1 is absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. Chlorophyll traps sunlight energy. Step 2 is the conversion of light energy to chemical energy plus splitting of water. The light energy is converted into chemical energy, water molecules are split into hydrogen and oxygen, and the oxygen is released as a byproduct. And the last step, step 3, is reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrate, that is basically glucose. And here the hydrogen combines with carbon dioxide to form glucose, which is C6H12O6. A memory trick for the steps, just say ACR. A is absorb, C is convert, and R is reduce. Now let us go and look at where does photosynthesis take place. And this is what you must know. The organ is the leaf, the cell organelle is the chloroplast, and inside chloroplast we have chlorophyll, the green pigment. So it is leaf, then chloroplast, and lastly chlorophyll. Think of it like a school. The school is the leaf, the classroom is the chloroplast, and the teachers who does the actual work is chlorophyll. We have also stomata, the little doors in leaves. And to define stomatas, we can basically say these are tiny pores present on the surface of leaves. They have 2 guard cells on either side. These guard cells control whether the stomata opens or closes. When guard cells absorb water, they swell and the stomata opens. When guard cells lose water, they shrink and the stomata close. Now let's look at the functions of the stomata. Number 1, carbon 4 dioxide enters through stomata for photosynthesis. Number 2, excess water vapor is lost through stomata, and this is called transpiration. Here is an interesting fact about desert plants. Do you know that Desert plants like cacti close their stomata during the day to prevent water loss. They open them at night to absorb carbon dioxide. They store this carbon dioxide and use it during the day when sunlight is available. Smart, right? From here, we go ahead and look at food storage. How do plants and animals store glucose? In plants, glucose made during photosynthesis is stored as starch. In animals, glucose is stored as glycogen in the liver and muscles. A common mistake many students normally make: students say plants store food as glucose. No, plants store food as starch. Glucose is the immediate product, but it is quickly converted to starch for storage. Now let's look at our first activity, prove that chlorophyll is needed for photosynthesis. And we are going to use the variegated leaf experiment. Take a variegated leaf, a leaf with a green and non-green yellow patches. Step 1, we shall boil the leaf in water to break cells. Step 2, we boil the leaf in alcohol to remove the green color, that is the chlorophyll. Step 3, we test with iodine solution. What is the result? Notice that iodine turns blue-black only on the green parts where chlorophyll was present, and this proves chlorophyll is essential for photosynthesis. Activity number 2, prove that carbon dioxide is needed for photosynthesis, and we are going to use the bell jar experiment. Step 1, we place a potted plant in a transparent airtight bell jar. Step 2, inside the jar, also keep a watch glass containing potassium hydroxide, which absorbs carbon dioxide. Step 3, keep the apparatus in sunlight for a few hours. Step 4, test the leaf with iodine. The role of potassium hydroxide in this experiment is to absorb all carbon dioxide present in the jar, so no carbon dioxide is available for the plant. What will be the result? Notice that iodine does not turn blue-black, no starch was formed. So we can conclude that carbon dioxide is essential for photosynthesis, and this question was asked in CBSE 2024, 2023, 2022, and 2020.